Morning glory, morning glory. Woke up about 45 minutes ago. I try to not touch my phone as soon as I wake up, as impossible as that is. They say for the first 15 minutes of you waking up, you're supposed to be getting sunlight. So they specifically say the first 15 minutes, as soon as you wake up for the first 15 minutes, don't roll over and grab your phone, but instead get up and go spend 15 minutes out in the sun. Open your window and let the sun beam in on you while you're laying there catching your bearings. Excuse me. Excuse me, I'm just getting over being under the weather, hence the OJ, staying hydrated. Always hocking loogies or blowing my nose because I'm taking Mucinex and that loosens all the snot up, gets all the mucus out. As soon as you wake up, for the first 15 minutes, do not touch your phone, but instead get outside and get some vitamin D, some sunlight, and or open your window and let the sunlight beam in on you. You know, open your window while you're laying in your bed catching your bearings and let the sunlight beam in on you. Or get the fuck up. As soon as you wake up, get up. And instead of grabbing your phone, you wake up and for the first 15 minutes, you go outside and get vitamin D sunlight. No one understands how imperative that is. As soon as you wake up for the first 15 minutes, do not touch your phone. Don't even look at your phone. As soon as you wake up, you take your happy ass right on outside, sit out there for 15 minutes and let the sun soak in on you. And then you come back in, grab your phone, do what you got to do. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, great benefits from it. Great benefits. Not to mention, it's a it's almost like a some type of a learning curve in a sense. Well, it is a learning curve because we all know to hurry up and grab our phones 24/7, and for us to not grab it as soon as we wake up and instead go outside and get vitamin D for 15 minutes, come back in, and then you could grab it. It is creating those changes, but man, there's so many benefits that are just like wake up and easily walk type benefits. Like this one, like get up and for the first 15 minutes you go outside and soak up some sun and don't touch your phone. Like go ahead and hit Google and see how many type in crazy really good health benefits that don't take much effort if you don't want to get crazy outlandish with it. Like, and that's how I found that one. And I read up on how imperative and the benefits from it, which I'm drawing a blank off of. But like something as easy as waking up and not touching your phone, but instead walking outside for the first 15 minutes after just waking up. You just wake up. Instead of rolling over and grabbing your phone, you roll over all the way out of bed, skip over touching your phone, skip over looking at it. Don't click on it and see who hit you. None of that. And instead, go outside for 15 minutes and let that vitamin D soak in on you, catch your bearings, and then come back in and do your thing. Again, I'm fighting a little cold. Took a COVID test, came back negative. So I just been taking a liquid um liquid syrup that's more than a cough suppressant. It's like for your chest, for your cough, for the post nasal, for the mucus, and that's just some. I'll show you. It's just some regular old mucus relief, but like the spots that it hits is crazy. Like one, two, three, six, seven, eight, nine. There's nine different reliefs, temporary reliefs you get out of this here mucus relief, right? I only took it once last night as soon as I got it. Took one shot, so I do need to take a dosage now, just so I can stay on top of it, right? You get nine temporary reliefs out of this, which is headache, body pains, temporarily release. There's 9 of them. Crazy. Just from this here mucus relief, right? You get 9 temporary release out of it, so to speak. Temporary reliefs including headache relief, body pain relief, fever relief, sore throat relief, chest congestion relief, cough relief, nasal congestion relief, sinus congestion relief, sinus pressure relief. So there's 9 different reliefs you get in just this one regular old mucus relief. And it's D&G Health. It's like I think it might be off brand. My mama brought it to me on yesterday, and they all brand new, fresh from the pharmacy. And this is adult tussin, multi symptom cold. I didn't take this yesterday. I just took a shot of this. This here is a cough suppressant, and it relieves the cough, nasal congestion, and mucus, non-drowsy. Should I take a shot of this instead of a shot of this? Because I already took a shot of this last night, and I haven't taken this yet. I think I'm gonna go back to this because there's a lot on it. But this is your regular old tussin, just as good. It makes a lot of sense if you're under the weather to go ahead and fucking take medicine. Like we're past all that. We don't cry. We don't go to the hospital. We don't feel pain. We're past all that shit. You know, our daddies and our grandfathers led us astray with that one. What it is, a real man is supposed to operate like, which is you don't cry, you don't go to the hospital, you don't go to doctors, you don't fucking hit women, you say thank you and you're welcome, you open doors. Like there's been a mixture of shit that we've all been taught by our fathers and our grandfathers, a mixture of shit, which some of it we've been led astray on. Like yeah, of course we open doors, we say thank you, we say you're welcome, we say Mrs., we say sir, we say ma'am. Uh, I'm the most respectful person you'll meet with the greatest manners you'll meet. Um, but I feel as though our fathers and our grandfathers led us astray on some of the info that they ingrained so heavily in our brains and in our daily routines. Meaning like when we would cry or we would feel pain, our daddies in our daily routine, and our daddies will pop up. Boy, you better wait. You better stop crying. Better get up because you ain't hurt. Type shit. Let it take its course. We ain't going to the doctors. Let it take its course. We don't take medicine. They're the things that we've been led astray on because men can cry. Please get that shit out because men have the highest leading suicide rate in the world is men committing suicide. So make sure you cry, get that shit out. If you don't feel good, make sure you take medicines. Make sure you go to the doctors. Make sure you go to the doctors for other reasons to take care of your body. You got to stay up on your body. You can't just drift through life eating good. You're a super patient person who eats good every night. You ain't finna be, that ain't health is wealth. Health is wealth is that plus a million other things that you gotta incorporate. You gotta stop listening to that music. You gotta stop portraying certain shit as if it's okay or if it's good. You gotta watch how much you cuss. You gotta watch who it is you hang around with. You know, what's the saying? Show me show me who your friends are and I'll show you who what's the saying? Show me who your friends are, and that'll tell me what I need to know about you. I don't know, some shit. But health is wealth is a whole bunch of things. It ain't just eating good and working out. It's music, being careful what you're listening to, being careful how much you cuss, uh, the relationships you're in, how healthy is it, on top of eating good, going to the gym. That in itself is hard to keep up on. Eating good and going to the gym every day, every other day, whatever you choose to make your schedule, and then you have to, just those two things are hard enough in itself, and then you're telling me we have to incorporate tons of other stuff. I can't listen to NBA YoungBoy no more. Nah, we can't even come in the morning. Shout out NBA. But can't listen to Julio Fulio no more. Uh I can't be cussing up a storm. I can't be beefing with my old lady. Like health is wealth is so many more things other than gym and a diet. And I feel like people know that, but I just feel like they don't really, excuse me, they really don't shout that because they themselves are scared of footwork, let alone, God forbid, if you change the narrative of something that ain't been right for years, you change the narrative and you make people actually think like, oh shit, that makes sense. That's the way it should have been years ago, and none of us would have been led astray. But instead, motherfuckers will still dance around the subject and beat around the bush, and we'll still end up shorting ourselves, not knowing that said individual who's cutting corners and beating around the bush instead of shooting this person straight, that person themselves who is cutting them corners and not giving it to us raw and in full, not knowing that that person who's cutting them corners and not giving it to us raw, he himself is shorting himself big time in leadership and honesty and trustworthy and being humble. Like he himself, who isn't being completely upfront with you, he himself is who is still beating around the bush and bullshitting about stuff. He himself is shorting himself. So it's like when you go to alter, like when you're having a healthy argument with someone, and let's just say going to the crying as men. You know, your boys fixated on no, you ain't supposed to cry as a man. And me on the other side, yeah, that's how I was taught too. But we're breaking barriers. Shit's, we were led astray for this many years, up until we were 31, all the way till now when we're 31. From when we were kids all the way till now when we're 31, we were led astray. And you're still gonna sit here in front of my face, knowing deep down that that shit ain't true, and I'm just using don't men crying as an example, and you're gonna sit here and still live by that, knowing damn well that shit ain't right, damn well that shit ain't true, damn well that leads men to crash out, commit suicide. Don't cry, keep that shit in. Like, no, that shit ain't true, and it ain't never been true, man. Our daddies and our grandfathers, that's how they lived, whatever. But look how, I mean, they ain't really had much to deal with back in the 60s and 70s. I mean, the racism shit, yeah, it was a big thing, but motherfuckers wasn't riding around shooting shit up 24/7. You was able to go to a bowling alley or to a movie without getting fucking picked off by some angry kid who's on the games all day and gets teased at school. Like, you was able to walk down the street to the corner store in Philly without getting shot up, hit by a stray bullet. Like, it's fucking crazy these days. So to still be living by these fucking messed up ways that our grandfather and our fathers taught us, to still be sitting here living by them, acting as if verifying that these things, that these old things that have been said to us, verifying it as if it's true still, you still living by it, man, that shit is disgusting. I'm here to voice and make the people coming up understand that it's all right to cry, man. It's all right to go to the doctors. Make sure when you're sick you take medicine. Make sure you go to the doctors. Make sure you go to the hospital and get your health taken care of, get checkups and shit like that. All that shit is imperative to your health. And if you want to live long and be healthy and live the health as wealth way of life, it has to be all of that incorporated. Not just eating good and going to the gym. You got to incorporate and change everything in your life, man. You got to. You have to. Absolutely, health as wealth is a whole in itself. It ain't just working out and a diet, man. I'm telling you, bro. I'm trying to make a change in that standpoint from all the daddy and granddaddy shit that we was told way back when we was little about how it is we supposed to be. I'm trying to change that for these youngins coming up now. I want them to know it's all right to cry, because when you cry, you let out all them emotions. You let out all that anger. You release something when you cry to where when you're done, you're decompressed and you ain't ready to crash out no more. So please cry, get that shit out. If you lose people, cry. Make sure you grieve properly. Excuse me. Go to the doctors. If you're sick, make sure you take medicine. Go to the hospital to get monthly checkups. Fucking make sure everything is straight down below. And make sure everything and anything about you is straight by going to the doctors, going to the hospital, doing everything in your life differently, not just eating right and going to the gym, but instead changing the music you listening to, uh, not fighting with your girl, not cussing as much. Stop, put out all the buffers, man. Leave out all the buffers. Deep down at 31, I know what's right. So when I'm out here projecting the shit and putting the shit on y'all, take a second and let's get away from how I talk or me trying to be black or I can't say the N word. Let's get away or he's a whatever the fuck ignorant shit people be leaving in the comments. Let's look past that for once in our lives and really understand that we need to grab a hold of our youth and teach them the right way. We can't be teaching them how our daddies and granddaddies taught us. Not fully, anyways, because half of the shit we were taught by our daddies and our granddaddies was flawed. It's been a flawed system ever since. You know, make sure you do cry. Make sure you go to the doctors. Make sure you go to the hospital and get regular checkups. Make sure if you're sick, you take medicine. Make sure you take medicine if your mental health is crazy. It ain't it ain't a problem to admit you're depressed and upset and you would like some type of medication to make you a little bit more even keeled because I be going through the days feeling like I'm ready to knock somebody's head off. We don't need that type of energy on our backs as we walk around all day. So why the fuck wouldn't you go talk to a therapist, get it off your chest, go see a psych and see what she has to say, see if your mental health is really a jeopardy, and then she'll do the due diligence by putting you on medication or not. But you shouldn't at all feel ashamed or shy away from mental health talks or asking for some type of which way to go, direction, reach out, ask questions, man. All the shit that our daddies and granddaddies taught us, not all of it, some of the shit we've been led astray on. You know what I mean? Because men can cry. Men do have to go to the doctors. Men do have to take medicine when they're sick. All the old school things that we were taught by our daddies and our granddaddies, not all, I keep saying all, half of the shit that we were taught by our daddies and our granddaddies way back when we were young, being raised by them, they were incorporating these values that they were told by their daddies and their granddaddies from the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s. And that shit was flawed when they made it up back then, and it sure as fuck is flawed and poisoned the minds of us, my generation. That's why I'm out here trying to voice and let it be known to the youngins coming up now. I'm 31. I've been through a whole lot of shit. I'm not saying this shit just to say it. I'm saying it because it's true. So when you're watching me and listening to me, understand that I know what I'm talking about. This is true, man. If you just listen and do some of it, you'll see changes outside and inside, within. The within changes are the best. The feelings, the warmth, the calm, the cool, the collectiveness, the patience, the overwhelming sense of happiness and relaxation, no regret, no remorse. You ain't angry. You feel 110%. You don't feel under the weather. The internal benefits you get from changing these old stereotypes and these old ways that we were brought up on, the internal changes you benefit from is the most amazing feeling. And you get outside changes as well. I know what it is I'm talking about. I'm 31. I've been through it. I'm trying to break the stigma for these young boys coming up right now that half of the shit your daddy is teaching you is from what his daddy taught him and from what his daddy taught him. And that shit was all wrong way back then. So us now as parents, as daddies, we got to do better. We got to grab a hold of our sons and our daughters and let them know that it's okay to cry. It's okay to go to the hospital. It's okay to go to the doctors. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to talk to people. It's okay to talk to therapists. It's okay to be on medicine for your mental health. It's okay to take medicine when you're sick. All these stigmas they were against back in the day. Like you can't cry, you don't take medicine. What the fuck is an anxiety attack? Like we got to do better now. We have to change the stigmas now. So I'm voicing it as I see it. This is just a random thought, a random 21-minute thought. But hey, look, man, it was long, long, hard, and thought while sitting here doing my due diligence and my research. It all hit me that we really are stuck in this cycle of repeating wrong shit and poisoning the minds of our youth. Like we got to do better as parents. Grab a hold of your children and let them know it's okay to be human, to feel feelings, to let shit out in a non-aggressive way. Um, Talking to people, going outside and screaming at the top of your lungs, going to therapy. All this shit is okay. Getting put on medicine for your mental health. All this shit we need to teach our kids is okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to take medicine when you're sick. It's okay to go to the doctors because my daddy and my granddaddy, when I was being raised, we wasn't allowed. None of that shit was okay. We wasn't allowed to do none of that shit because that's how they was raised. So then they leading us astray by raising us like that, not knowing that this whole time that shit from way back in the day has been wrong. It's okay, y'all. It is okay. I promise it's okay. Stay up on your health and your wealth. Take care of yourself. And do not, for 1 second, not fulfill something that you feel on account of how you were raised. Because I'm here to tell you that shit, that system back then was flawed. That system back then was flawed. It's okay to cry, man. It's okay to take medicine when you're sick. I'm telling you, bro. It's okay to go talk to therapists. It's okay to be put on medicine for your mental health. It's okay to go talk to psychs. It's okay for these things to go on. Because if you live by how we were raised by our daddies and granddaddies, if our kids continue to repeat that cycle, then guess what? All this ignorance and anger and animosity continues to go on to the next generation. And I'll be damned if I raise my children like that, for them to go ahead and raise their children like that, and then me failing them because I allowed the cycle to continue. No, I'm here to break that motherfucker. For real. I'm here to let y'all know, boys, girls, whomever, youngins coming up, it's okay. Reach out, reach out, reach out. Talk to someone, ask for help, reach out. It's okay to feel feelings. They're temporary. They're feelings. They'll diminish in a couple minutes. Just hang tight and work through them feelings. I promise you, it is okay. Connect Performance. Out.